I'm very excited for these two projects, especially Superman.
My hot take is that I am honestly way more excited for Ironheart.
But if it's not Dracula, then I think it might be a lost son of Krypton.
Speaking of gummy bears, I feel like if someone did eat Baby Joey, you would probably taste like a green gummy bear.
Greetings, Palaxians. Today on the Bounty Board, we're discussing the latest trailers for Superman and Ironheart. So kick up that warp drive and let's punch it.
Welcome back to the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here. My name is MT, and I'm here today with two of my wonderful, amazing pals, Whitney Van Laningham and Tommy Bechtold. What's going on, gang?
Big Head Gang!
Big
Peaches
Head
and
Gang,
Green
let's
Gang!
Oh
Wong!
my God.
Wong!
Oh my God. I'm so glad to be here with my wonderful friends today because today we're going to be talking about two amazing topics, Superman and Ironheart, which I both can't wait for. What do you guys feel? How are you guys feeling about these two projects?
I am so excited.
Both projects have gone too woke for my taste, so I'll be skipping.
Yeah.
No, I am beyond excited. I'll be honest, Superman's promotional efforts have harkened back to my childhood in the 90s of when movies were tied into everyday life for like the 2 months leading up to them.
Yes.
You know, every product, even Star Wars recreated that with Force Awakens. So I will give all credit to them for that, kind of bringing that back 10 years ago. But like not since then have we seen the type of product integration, whether it be milk bones for crypto or, you know, all of the different Energizer battery and different tie-in commercials that we've seen. Even the, now I'm forgetting the cute commercial with the little girl who wants to be Superman. I can't remember what it was a product for, but it's like, you know, we're just getting all these fun little glimpses into the movie and like the tone of the movie. I'm sorry that I'm already talking too long, but I just am very excited about it. I feel it is invoking to me the excitement that I had when I was a kid when these movies would come out, you know, and like we had kind
Tommy
of
Bechtold, slave to capitalism.
That's true. Hey, listen, I'm out there in the streets and I'm not protesting. I'm pro-spending. So
I'm pro-spending. I'm buying the milk bones. I don't even have a dog.
That's right.
Just kidding. I do. I have a dog.
How about you, Whitney?
Dude, no, I agree with Tommy. I think as a child of the 90s, that really is so much fun. And I really didn't think about it that way until you just said that. I love that perspective of like, it's true. We did used to grow up watching Nickelodeon and every other commercial was for the next movie that came out. Like you couldn't escape the Jimmy Neutron movie commercials. You could not escape the Lizzie McGuire movie commercials. They were everywhere.
Hey now. This is what dreams are made of. Now, I was in college when that movie came out, so I should be ashamed of myself. But I was a Lizzie McGuire fan. I love that show.
I fucking loved it. But yeah, we used to have that when we were younger, and it really did make it so much more exciting to have it be like a thing that you saw every day and you were getting really hyped for.
And
so
I agree. And toy commercials.
I think that's cool. Yeah,
toy commercials with the kids playing with the toys, and like, you know, they always look way more awesome than they are when you're stuck playing it in your house by yourself, you know, with no one else to be your Lex Luthor, and you just want a Lex Luthor friend, but you don't have one, so you have to be Lex Luthor.
You have to be the hero and the villain, which is always never
which
fun.
Is pretty great.
You either die or play long enough to become the villain. That's all.
I grew up as an only child, and a game that I frequently played by myself was that I had a little toy castle, and the castle had a catapult. And when no one was watching me, I would catapult gummy bears into my mouth, and then I would swallow them whole because I thought that was a fun game. And that's why, I don't know, maybe I have siblings because I think that siblings get you into a different kind of trouble. But when you're alone and you're an only child, you get yourself into shenanigans because you're just like, I have nothing to do. So I was like, I'm going to learn how to swallow gummy bears whole by catapulting them into my mouth from across the room.
That's so dangerous.
So MT.
Anyways, back to Superman.
MT, to answer your question, we are hyped about this movie. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling like I want to catapult gummy bears into my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm very excited for these two projects, especially Superman. Like, it's been a long time since we've gotten like a really solid, fun Superman with a personality, and like watching this trailer was like a breath of fresh air because like as soon as I watched this trailer, I was like, I get hardcore Brendan Fraser vibes from this Superman, which is like
Yeah.
an amazing
Oh, that's a great way
feeling.
to describe it. Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Well,
That's perfect. I love that.
I freaking love David Cornsweet, and I think that like incorporating crypto into the stories is so much fun, and there's just so much mystery. Even though like we've gotten so many cool shots, especially in the latest trailer, we sort of don't really know where the plot's going and like how things are going to flesh out, which is always the best. And also Ironheart, like that new trailer that we just got like finally after months of nothing, it's Ironheart season, and like this whole magic technology thing is just like so exciting. And and it seems like we are going to dive into the Darkhold and Wanda's side of things, which is very, very, very cool. But yeah, we will talk about that later. Now we're going to start laser focus on Superman. And before I start, I do want to tell you guys that like my camera is a little bit malfunctioning because I am far out in outer space. I'm on a different galaxy right now, so the transmission's kind of fuzzy. So I apologize in advance.
Did we know you're on Jeddah? We know you're on Jeddah.
Just tell us you're
Okay.
on Jeddah.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I'm riding the
They're
rhino.
gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
They're not gonna know.
They're not gonna know. How are they gonna know?
But no, so I recently did a Superman breakdown on heavy spoilers, I guess cross advertisement. But while breaking that down, like I did notice that there is this like super mysterious black clad figure that is rolling with Lex Luthor called Ultraman, and like in the trailer, like we see him battling Superman in like on this baseball field, and I'm really curious as to who this guy is, because in the comics Ultraman is supposed to be this like evil alternate version of Superman from Earth 3 after the Flash kind of bombed and like everyone's sort of multiverse fatigued. I kind of find it hard to believe that James Gunn is going to go, all right, I have an evil multiverse Superman on my squad, so I'm just like, who is this guy? Like, how did Lex Luthor get him on his squad, and like where do you guys think, like, I guess like give me your rogue theories as to like where this guy, like superpowered person, even came from. Could it be like a Lex Luthor experiment, or like what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I definitely think that it's an experiment, because the one thing that I like picked up from, especially from this trailer, more so than even like other promotional stuff that we've seen from this movie, I really feel the dorky little science boy vibes from Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, where it's like, yeah, he's evil, but he's deeply, deeply a dork. Like he is so in his bones. That man is a nerd. And so I really think that he is performing experiments that are going to allow him to create like the Wario to Superman.
The Bizarro, if you will. Like a lot of people do think that this could be Bizarro, like which would be
interesting.
Very, very fun. But I don't know how he would pull that off. But what do you think, Tommy?
I'm going to go with a rogue theory here, and that is that it's Dracula.
And loving it.
And let me tell you why. What do we know about Dracula? He's in both DC and Marvel Comics. What do we know about James Gunn? He loves horror. Scooby-Doo, anyone? Monsters?
True.
House of Monsters, or whatever. Monsters Unleashed, or whatever the hell that movie was called. Why not introduce our pal Drac? But if it's not Dracula, then I think it might be a lost son of Krypton. Some sort of like precursor to a General Zod, maybe an evil Kryptonian. We already have had Zod in the Snyder Superman movies, but there are other evil Kryptonians out there. What's the one, like Kal-El or something like that, or Mal-El? Yes. I forget. There's something along those lines. Perhaps an evil Kryptonian, because one thing we also know about evil dorky geniuses is that they are very into arms races, right? And it's constantly a keeping up with the Joneses. So if there is a superpowered alien fighting as an adversary to Lex Luthor, he's going to want a superpowered alien of his own. So I would not be surprised if it is just some sort of malicious Kryptonian. They're bringing in malicious Kryptonians.
Those Kryptonian immigrants coming into.
They're eating the cryptos. They're eating the baby Joeys.
Speaking of baby Joey,
I would die for baby Joey. I said that on Twitter, and I mean it. I don't even know anything about baby Joey other than he's Metamorpho's son, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And like, speaking of gummy bears, I feel like if someone did eat baby Joey, he would probably
Yes.
taste like a green gummy bear.
He's 90%
Yeah.
Haribo shop floor ingredients.
But no, like, let's talk about Joey, because in the comics, like Tommy said, like, he is the son of Rex Mason, aka Metamorpho, a really weird ass freaking superhero that I'm surprised that we've gotten in live action, because like I never thought we'd see the day. But yeah, he Metamorpho marries and has a baby with the daughter of Simon Stagg, a leader of Stagg Industries, and they have a little baby. And we see that baby in front of this weird black hole type thing in the trailer that seems to be like underneath the city of Metropolis or something like that. And like I feel like that might be connected to this mysterious Ultraman clad in black, because like I said in my breakdown on heavy spoilers, like, because Superman is very solar themed and black holes are the opposite of suns, like I wouldn't be surprised if Lex Luthor somehow, like he does in the comics, create like a suit powered by a miniature black hole. And maybe baby Joey, because he has powers over like atomic manipulation, maybe baby Joey is being used to create this black hole generator inside of this, the suit that this Ultraman is wearing. And it somehow just goes haywire. And so maybe baby Joey's inside this. That'd be wild if it's baby Joey.
Dude, what if he just, every time he sneezes, like a little baby sneeze, he's like, a Jew, and like a black hole pops out.
Yo.
That's what I...
Honestly.
Question.
Yeah.
Is Crypto and baby Joey the new Groot and Rocket? Is that what we're getting?
Yes.
Is that what we're being...
So.
Yes.
Are they the princes who were promised?
Yes. Give me the
spin-off
promised
projects.
tiny princes.
I want a spin-off project with just baby Joey and Crypto.
Yes.
Just loose in the world.
Just in a dog park wreaking havoc.
But yeah, no, I'm really curious as to, what the big major threat of this movie is going to be, and, how Lex Luthor is going to progress post this movie, because like in this trailer, especially the latest trailer, he's unhinged. He's like,
he's already full on. I am out. He's out of the closet evil, right? There's no like billionaire philanthropist Lex Luthor that's like, he's complicated. He does some bad things, but I like the way I like that he's different from other evil billionaires. He says it like it is. In this one, he's just like, I want to kill Superman. That's
that's my thing, and that's all
I've
I
already
want to
got
do.
one goal in mind, and that's killing Superman. So,
and like he wants to kill his family and Lois Lane just because he's just that petty. I'm like, yo, this is MCU Mysterio levels of petty.
Yeah, petty. I laughed so hard at that joke in your video. You were just like, he has hater levels only foreseen by Mysterio.
But I love it, because I think the half-measured Lex Luthors don't work. Like I think he's got to be like the 2000s have certainly been the era of anti-heroes or like ambiguously evil characters that can be redeemed. I want an unredeemable DCU bad guy that's not a giant alien creature or a god.
Yeah.
I want a human being with access to technology and all of the evil, money and technology and all the evil that can bring, wreaking havoc upon our heroes. I'm all for it. Like,
give me a villain that just fucking sucks.
Exactly.
Give me one.
I don't need 50 minutes of them being like, showing scenes of them doing like things that are kind of benign. Like, I want him to come out of the gate, guns blazing evil. And I think that's way more, to me, it's a way better story. Like, we already know Lex Luthor and Superman are going to face off. It's kind of like in the same way that a title like Batman versus Superman doesn't work for me, because we know in the end they form the Justice League. It's like, it would be like, it's kind of like, well, yeah, but we know that they're not going to be versus the entire time. Now, I didn't know that them having the same mother with the same name was going to be what ended their feud, but I did, but I did know their feud was going to end.
Yeah. No. The Dawn of Martha, man, just really fucked me up. That was the hardest I've ever laughed in a movie theater. And I'm like, sorry, Snyder Bros. It's just the dumbest thing ever to be like,
You're dead.
Bro,
You're dead. They're coming.
Your
for
mom's
you.
name is Martha? My mom's name is Martha. Holy shit, bro. We should absolutely stop fighting.
If only Lois Lane had chimed in and been like, I have an aunt named Martha.
Yeah. and then Lex is like, oh shit, that was my stepmom's name who raised me. She really stepped in after my mom left.
Why don't we hug it out, everybody? Come on,
Everybody,
bring it in.
let's just bring it in for the Marthas. Let's all kiss about it.
Spring
Yeah.
break quad kiss for the Marthas. I love it.
I love that idea.
Yeah, no, in this trailer we also see, the Daily Planet cast involved. Like I'm so excited for this new iteration of Jimmy Olsen in particular, because he seems like a goofy kid, but also like a ladies' man. Like we got like a picture of him with like two girls, like, yeah, I'm chilling. But like he's also just like goofy and fun. I'm like, I like this Jimmy Olsen. This feels like a proper
yeah, they
Jimmy
got
Olsen.
Gideon Gemstone to play Jimmy Olsen. It's like,
hey,
it's brilliant. Skylar Gazando, who is so funny because like that poor goofy little kid has grown up on screen. Like I think he was in one of the like Airbud Christmas spinoffs, like Santa Pups or whatever.
Oh,
like,
really?
I think that was like one of
wow.
his first roles as a little kid. But like, he's been on everything. He's been on Curb. He's been in movies. Like it's cool to have him as like, a guy who's probably, my guess is in his mid-20s, like graduate to a role like this where I'm sure he's gonna get to have a lot of fun, and I think it makes sense to have like a little like Justin Bieber-y Jimmy Olsen. Like,
he's a modern day Jonathan Taylor Thomas,
That's
a
right.
regular old JTT.
I'm a big fan of this Daily Planet like family, because it seems
Wendell
like
Pierce, come on, bunk.
Yeah.
Shit.
like for real, man. Like him sitting in the chair with the cigar, just like, shit, let's fucking and like, so like, do you guys think that this the Daily Planet family is going to know Superman's identity, like much like Lois does in the trailers? Do you think like it's going to be like a secret for the whole newspaper to hide, or
Ooh,
do you
like
feel
the whole office knows?
Yeah,
whoa,
because like they are involved in this conflict.
Yeah.
We see them like cruising in Mr. Terrific's T-craft. So I wonder if they find out along the way, or Lois tells them, or
I would absolutely love if it was just office gossip that ended up being true, that just got around where everyone was like, hey, I kind of think that like Clark might be super.
Isn't it weird that Clark never comes on these very dangerous missions with us when we stop being newspaper people and start being like world-avenging heroes? Clark's always absent, and this guy who looks just like him is there, but with no glasses. That's kind of nuts. Also,
it's like, come on, dude. We spend 40 hours a week with you. Of course we know.
Also, the Mr. Terrific's
Mr. T.
His ship looks just like the owl ship from Watchmen, and I really hope that like Zack Snyder designed that, and like at the premiere he's there and he's like, "Oh yeah, I love this movie. I designed this ship." They actually used the ship from Watchmen and repainted it. Like that would be such a funny thing for Snyder Bros to have to juggle online. They'd be like, "That was the only good part of the movie." Was when they were on the ship.
The only good part was the ship.
Even though we criticized it earlier and said it was a ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy. Because there's never in the history of movies been three people in a cockpit before. That was only Guardians. They were the first to do
that. That was only that.
I mean, Star Wars didn't tackle that at all.
And company.
No.
Han Solo had a strict rule on the Millennium Falcon. No, only two there must be. Never more.
Only two there must be.
Always
never
two.
One, never three.
Hey, Dr. Seuss. But yeah, no, like I really like the idea of, after this movie, like at least like Perry's like Daily Planet office being like a secret like hub, like Team Superman. It's like, all right, let's like talk together and like let's like sort of like do it together rather than like Clark doing it by himself, like doing superhero stuff rather. And he just forms this like sort of like Arrowverse type team where it's just like, all right, let's like keep the secret amongst ourselves, but don't tell our other coworkers about Clark being Superman. I feel like that would be super fun. No pun intended. To see. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what this movie is going to bring to the table. Are there other elements of the trailer that I forgot to bring up?
Guy Gardner and his middle finger.
Yes. Oh my God. I cannot wait to see more Guy Gardner. Like the whole
I love that he just looks like a total train wreck. Like he has the bowl cut. He's like sneering throughout. It's like gone are the days of, I mean, Nathan Fillion's obviously a very attractive man, but like gone are the days of clean cut Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan, and incoming is like kind of like used and abused faced, bull cutted, sneering Guy Gardner. He looks like a relief pitcher from the 80s. Like he looks like he's ready to go throw 2 innings to the Red Sox.
The bowl cut really makes it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect, and I cannot wait to see more of his iteration. And like I hope that we get to see at least some other Lanterns pop up at some point, because like we do know that the Lanterns project is coming up. I forget the names of who was cast. That was the dude from the Godzilla movies and the guy
Kyle
with the
Chandler.
amazing eyes. That I'm so jealous of.
Kyle Chandler is confirmed, right?
Yes,
That's
Mr.
That's
Chandler.
who he is. Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be not John Stewart, the other one. Why am I blanking on everybody's name
He's playing
today?
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, yes. And then so I cannot wait to see that. I hope they appear in this movie. Wait, is Supergirl confirmed for this movie?
I don't know that she's been confirmed, but I think he said something in an interview about how like she'll be introduced. I don't know if he confirmed her appearance or if just the name will be said. I don't. You never know. These directors and writers are so cagey about things. They'll be like, "You'll know about her," and it'll just be like Clark flipping through an album of Kryptonian baby photos.
Yeah, then she's just there. Just a Kryptonian baby book. I would love that.
A Kryptonian baby crystal, because that's how they store all their information, apparently. The little crystals on the Fortress of Solitude. But yes, I cannot wait for Guy Gardner. He's going to be fantastic. And the whole Justice Gang, because they're being led by Sean Gunn's Maxwell Lord.
Mm-hmm.
After Maxwell Lord was just played by Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 84, which is such a interesting character switch. Recasting. Yeah, I want to see how that team was assembled, and I wonder if they're like this universe's version of the Justice Guild. Was it the Guild in Shazam? Black Adam.
It was the Justice. What was
Society?
Justice
The
JSA.
Justice Society.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I wonder if this is like the variant version of that team, and there's no Justice Society in this universe, which would be very interesting.
That would completely restructure the hierarchy of the DCEU. So I don't know.
As was prophesied.
Nothing would be funnier than The Rock cameoing in a post-credit scene of this. Like The Rock.
Oh my God. Yes.
Just Black Adam and Lobo just showing up, but it's or it's The Rock as whatever new character he would play in James Gunn's universe, and Aquaman showing up as Lobo, and they're just like.
Perfect. Yes.
But yeah, is there anything else? I feel like I'm forgetting a zillion things.
The only other thing we should talk about is there are some secondary villains. Sorry, I forgot.
Yes. Go for who do you want to talk about first?
Well, I want to talk about what's her name? The engineer, is that her name? I forget.
Yes.
I want to talk about her. She looks awesome with the whirling blade hands. I think she's also in the baseball scene, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe that's
blender fists. I like the color.
I think he was. We've only seen Superman fighting Ultraman in the baseball stadium.
Okay, so maybe it's the scene prior to that. Yes. She's sawing the robots in half. Heartbreaking abuse of robots.
And Lex Luthor not even flinching as sparks fly over his face.
That's
I'm
right.
Holy shit, that bald man is crazy.
He's an evil dork.
But
what can
the engineer, she was first introduced in the Wildstorm comics before Wildstorm was absorbed into DC. And ever since I remember reading the engineer in the comics and being like, oh my God, she's so cool. It's a shame that we will never see her on the big screen because she's this random character from a branch universe. And then now, she's in it and she's super cool. And I cannot wait to see, hopefully she survives. She is part of the Authority. The team that was part of the Wildstorm comics, if I'm not mistaken, and they're getting their project soon. So I think she survives this movie and then joins the Authority, and they go on their own adventure, which is going to be super exciting because the Authority rules.
And I think track record wise, James Gunn, there wasn't a huge body count in the Guardians movies. Every single Guardians movie at our former job, we were predicting who was going to die at the end. And in the end, it was usually
nobody ever died.
Usually it was the big bad. And that was it. And even in 3, the big bad didn't even die. They rebuilt him. And they allowed him to live. They spared him in a way, in an act of mercy. Rocket spared him.
I do think that that's different about the DCEU is that I feel like the DCEU is less hesitant to kill people than the MCU.
And I don't think it's necessarily a good thing that there's never any stakes and no one ever dies. I do think that there was room.
Yeah,
in the
I think that there should be stakes. I was fully convinced. Brett wrote a whole ass fucking video about it. We were both totally convinced that Ant-Man was gonna die.
Yeah.
At the end of Ant-Man 3, because that would have made so many things so much more impactful if he actually died. That could have been the catalyst for the Young Avengers starting with Cassie. Cassie could have used that as a springboard. It would have established Kang as an actually really fearsome person because he just killed fucking Paul Rudd, who we all thought couldn't die. That would be such a power move if they were still doing the Kang storyline. Yeah, I do get kind of annoyed. Not that I like want these beloved characters to die, but I do feel like the MCU doesn't have the same stakes as like Star Wars or as the DCU, where beloved characters can die, and that's what makes them powerful and emotional, is that you really don't know what's going to happen next. But with the MCU, you're kind of like, yeah, well, I mean, they're all going to be fine at the end. So
yeah. All right, I'm satisfied. Let's get to Ironheart.
Okay. Ironheart. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm so hyped. It's basically because it's 6 episodes, right?
6 episodes. We're getting 3 apiece over 2 weeks, I believe.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
I'm so hyped for this. I was watching the little like behind the scenes of Ironheart with Ryan Coogler and Dominique Thorne, and just listening to them talk about it, I was like, God, this sounds so fucking cool. I can't believe that we're getting like the magic, the technology. It's so fucking rad.
Like, dude, anytime Ryan Coogler talks about film, like, I am sad. Like, that dude is
I am sad.
A charismatic and like very easy to like engage with guy that I'm just like, man, like, please teach a course on film one day, because my ass will be there.
Truly, because not everybody who's a film person can talk about film in a way that's like actually relatable and understandable to normal people like us. You know, like I feel like there's so many directors who can't do that. And he makes everything so accessible. So I fucking love listening to him talk about the making of this. You out there, Palaxians, if you haven't watched that video yet, it's very good. Check it out.
Yes, please check it out.
This is a very one-to-one idea, but like, how great would it be if Sony's going to be belligerent and insist upon keeping the Spider-Verse and not selling it to Marvel? How amazing would it be if they just if they made Ryan Coogler the Kevin Feige of the Sony Marvel or Sony Spider-Man properties, and it began with a Miles Morales trilogy. Like, he shepherded in a Miles Morales trilogy, and then they could fold in, because I think that's how. And this is a separate video title, and I'm sorry, Brett, but it's like that is probably the only way Sony's ever going to make good superhero movies again, is if they just create a cinematic universe with a clear voice at the top. And I don't know. Anyway, back to Ironheart, which is more important and more real and is a real thing. I am very excited for Anthony Ramos. I've been a big fan of his.
Yes.
The Heights is incredible. Obviously, his work in Hamilton. Very funny appearance at the Tonys, where I think contractually he was not allowed to have a solo in the Hamilton reunion because of Ironheart. I think there was a certain thing where he couldn't perform.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, that could have been internet speculation, but otherwise he was very conspicuous in the fact that he was there. And the guy who played George Washington stepped aside to give him a visual moment, but he did not have a solo, considering he plays Philip Hamilton. Right, Philip? Yeah. I think his name is Philip Hamilton. Whatever. He plays Hamilton's son.
Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton. Well, Alexander Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda, who, by the way, get Lin-Manuel in the MCU. Anyhow.
Yeah, get him in there.
I'm very excited for Anthony Ramos in the MCU. As he said 5 years ago, shit's lit about this project. So
shit is lit. I can tell. I can see what he was talking about, because he plays the Hood in this project, and it very much seems like both Riri and Parker Robbins, who he's playing, come across a treasure trove of dark artifacts, very possibly from the Darkhold Mountain from Multiverse of Madness, which is very interesting to see the aftermath of that come into play, because of course, government organizations are going to, see what happened, see this huge explosion, be like, we got to check this out, and just take everything from the rubble before Doctor Strange and his people can. And it seems like the cloak the Hood wears might be from this rubble. And even though in the comics this cloak is more linked to Dormammu, I have a feeling that because this, if this is dealing with Darkhold elements like we see with Riri's magic, this is probably going to be Chthon's cloak, because Chthon did make the Darkhold Mountain himself. And so it would be super crazy to see Chthon pop up at some point in this series. or to see like Anthony Ramos be like confirmed to be like this avatar for Chthon. Because, like, you know, this is a very Avatar-filled section of the MCU or season of the MCU with Moon Knight and you know, Black Panther and all them. So, like, it'd be interesting to see, like, demonic avatars be introduced.
That would be fucking sick. That'd be so cool.
Because that's what Gore was, essentially, with the Ebony Blade. Not the Ebony Blade. Yeah, the Ebony Blade. No, is it the Ebony Blade? The Necrosword.
Necrosword, yeah.
Is Ebony
Blade is the other guy, yeah.
We don't talk about that anymore.
That never happened, apparently. But yes, no, I hope that we see Chthon at some point. How do you guys feel about this new Ironheart armor? Magic incorporated. Like, are you guys down with the whole magic part of her armor? Do you want it to be like a permanent thing?
I want more of the magical side of the MCU and the chaos magic and all of the, like, you know, Darkhold and Darkhold adjacent artifacts to continue on in the MCU. But unfortunately, it feels like, in terms of like Agatha all along, that it seems to be a one and done thing, right? Like, we got the season of Agatha all along. So, like, in order to just keep it in the realm of like supernatural witches and you know, the Witch's Road and things like that, it would just, a lot of that stuff would die off. We don't have a confirmed, you know, project with Wanda returning. So, like, in order for these elements to continue on, they have to bring them into the tech, because that's where the MCU shines. Iron Man, you know, Ultron, all of those things, the Hulkbuster, whatever, the Shield helicarriers, like the big tech stuff is always like the showpieces of these movies and TV shows. I love infusing the two elements together. And, you know, kind of bringing fans, people that are comic book fans that maybe don't know the mystical side of the Marvel comics as much, introducing those elements via Riri Williams, I think is really smart. And I think it's going to be, you know, I think it's going to be one of the shining moments of the whole series. I think that'll be one of the highlights.
Dude, for sure. I agree with all of that. I'm also really looking forward to seeing the tech blend with the magic, because, you know, like, I fucking love Doctor Strange. I fucking love Wanda. I fucking love Agatha. Give me more of that, please. So I'm really excited to see how they do incorporate all of that. It just, I don't know. It just looks like it's going to be such a fun show. And I think that anything that Ryan Coogler touches is just kind of elite tier. So I'm very, very hyped for this.
But I think we should definitely touch upon the dangers of working with the Darkhold, because, you know, in Multiverse of Madness,
it hasn't worked out for anyone yet.
Yes.
It has not worked out.
Like,
no one has had a good time.
Never a good idea. Like, yes, it gives you like fun powers and stuff, but like, man, oh man.
But bro, once your fingies start getting gross, it's over. You are cooked.
And so, like, do you think that there is a chance that we could see, you know, one of Riri's suits sort of just go crazy because it's infused with this like Darkhold demonic energy? Like, I have a feeling that Riri's AI, Natalie, the AI of her dead bestie, I feel like that Darkhold demon or whatever is going to possess her and end up, you know, having her become the villain, because that would sort of reflect, you know, Obadiah Stane and Tony Stark's relationship.
I'm not Natalie anymore. You can call me by my real name, Grok.
I'm Grok. Elon Musk Grok.
And then as she's dying, Grok, is this true?
Is this true? They're telling me to go to the light. Is this true?
Is this true, Grok? Should I?
I cannot confirm whether or not it's true, although there have been instances where it's been true in the past. Readers add community context. It is true.
But yeah, like I'm really interested to see if we'll have like a supernatural like surprise villain rather than, you know, just the Hood or any other entity. Like, I feel like there's.
I will say the first trailer really gives the old, like, this guy's going to be your friend for one episode and then become the adversary from Anthony. He's given the big heel turn performance in that, where he's like, we have an opportunity to save the world. It's like, anybody who starts thinking on that grandiose level is going to be a bad guy by episode 3.
Especially if they start thinking on that level the first time you guys hang out.
Right.
That's not a first hangout convo.
You know, you've heard of love bombing. This is like aspiration bombing. It's
aspiration bombing. Hashtag goal bombing.
Yes.
So like by the end of the series, because like, you know, Riri's obviously going to be used in future projects. Like, do you guys feel like she's going to end up joining the Champions or the OG Avengers or the maybe even the new Avengers? Maybe. I mean, that I feel like that's less likely, but like, do you guys feel like we'll see like a team pop up or like a tease towards like her involvement in Doomsday or Secret Wars? Or
I actually think that there's a lot of potential for her to be a very successful character in the team up movies. You know, like a lot of these MCU characters have their own solo projects and they kind of graduate out of that and become the standouts in these ensemble films. And I definitely in Champions, like she would be a standout in that, you know, who we know that's already going to be there. You know what I mean? It's very, this is not in any way negative, but it's a very women heavy lineup right now, right? Like to my knowledge, it's like, it's Ms. Marvel, whatever Ant-Man's daughter's stupid name is, Stature, Fortified Fortress. I hate that name. I'm sorry, Stature.
Name. Get a better superhero name. You could be called anything. You can invent your own name.
My name is MySpace Top 8 Friends.
Her name's Stature, but also I think she has a
Rescue is Gwyneth Paltrow, but yeah, there is a
which is also dumb.
No, her name is
rules. Producer Brett with
says Stature rules
freezing
as
cold
the name.
take. Freezing cold take.
Freezing cold take. Oh, Stinger's the other one. See, that was better. That's
obviously, mine and MT's favorite, Kate Bishop. You know.
Yes, I love her until she betrayed me. But
you know, I would really kill. It's not ever gonna happen. This is just a dream. But I would fucking kill to see Riri, Ms. Marvel, and Moon Girl do a team up.
Oh my God.
Just the science brains between the three. And then Ms. Marvel also has the bangles, so we could get like, you know, the Noor dimension in on this bitch. I would love that. I think that the three of those characters together would be really, really fun.
I want Moon Girl in the MCU so badly, but it's so tough because she has to stay a girl and like people age between these movie productions so fast. So like I say Marvel just like go full James Bond and just recast Moon Girl every time just to keep her young. That'd be really fun. But anyway, not to
but her parents and her siblings and everyone stay exactly the same. It's only Moon Girl, only and, the lead characters is recast every single season.
I'm all in on that. I love that idea.
I love that too.
But yeah, no, like this show is, you know, it's definitely going to advance the Wanda narrative, and like we'll probably get a confirmation like as to whether or not Wanda's dead, because like if they're going through all this stuff through the Darkhold rubble, they might find Wanda's body and be like, oh yeah,
let's resurrect her.
There it is. But yeah, no, like these two projects are going to be incredible, and I cannot wait for Superman and Ironheart.
My hot take is that I am honestly way more excited for Ironheart than I am about Superman. But I'm excited for both. I'm also very excited for Superman, but I think I'm like that much more excited for Ironheart because damn, just something about it when the actor themselves is a huge MCU fan. Those are the performances that I always love the most. So listening to Dominique in that interview talk about how serious of a fucking Marvel fan she is, that's also why I love Kamala Khan, because she just plays it so perfectly. So I'm really excited to see a character played by a fan for the fans. I think I'm really gonna fucking dig that. So I'm hyped.
No, I totally agree. It's always so fun to see actors actually enthusiastic with the MCU.
I agree, and I think, you know, the disgusting discourse has already started around this show that, you know, exists in this, unfortunately, in this fandom at all times when anything comes out. And I honestly think this show is going to pleasantly surprise anyone that is skeptical without, you know, being skeptical because they're racist or misogynistic. If they're just skeptical because the last, you know, 5 or 6 Marvel projects have underwhelmed, then I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised. And I am very much looking forward to it. I'm not going to pretend I'm not looking more forward to Superman, but that's because
no, that's okay.
Superman has been my A number one since I was a little kid. But I am very excited, and I'm also very optimistic that this show is going to do well and propel Ironheart into the MCU quicker than maybe is even already planned. So I'm bullish, and I also want to add that I love you both. That's what I want to add.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
I love you so much.
Yes, I can't wait for these projects to come out so we can talk about them every week until we die. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast. And do not forget to hit up our Patreon to become a Palaxy supporter. We have an amazing Patreon. We can give you a nice little shout out on the show, and we'll make a little video for you guys and send it on over. And we love just making this content for you guys, and the Patreon helps us to do that. So it would mean the world to us if you guys could subscribe to our Patreon. But if not, just leave a like on this video because that also helps a lot. Leave a little comment for the algorithm because that always is good for views and stuff. And views is where it's at, apparently. But yes, we love you guys so much. You guys are amazing, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye, pals.